Hello everyone, how are you? Welcome to the Thursday stream where we do book reading, but I see we have few things to look on first. One which is this link that Toad just sent us. Also, good morning, Gohenro. Let's see. So it says 81 Shogi Wars, the strongest tournament opened. This avatar is Katagami Sensei 7 Dan. I see. I actually wouldn't have guessed from this avatar. I wonder why. Maybe because it's like younger version? I have no idea. It doesn't look like it for me. But yeah, if you guys want new avatars, now is the time to get it. So it says it's oh, it's only today? No, it was a few days ago. No, until 21st. All right. So it started 3 days ago. It's until 21st. All right. Yeah. If you guys have an account on Shogi Wars and you can play unlimited games, it's definitely something to aspire to. So guys, before we start, I wanted to check those videos from WSL. I didn't have time to see them yet. One which is from our friend from Leon, and the other one which is Shogi Lifestyle. I didn't have time to look at them. I'm gonna take a look at them together, if you don't mind. This is in French, right?
Du Shogi, bonjour et bienvenue sur la chaîne du Shogi d'Ojo. Nous sommes à Ludwigshafen en Allemagne pour le championnat d'Europe édition 2022.
I cannot read that font. So somebody mentioned that Takada Sensei was giving out prizes on the winner ceremony. This is the usual thing that we do during tournament. And nothing surprising there. This was Nekomado shop. This was prizes. This was Takada's Sensei set. Those were more prizes. This was like our teaching corner, kinda. Like the tournament room was in this door, and this is our teaching corner room. The shop is behind the cameraman. And there's the penguin guy here.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Marc, j'ai 35 ans, je joue au shogi depuis 7-8 ans, mais on va dire
It's unfortunately 10 minutes long, so I wonder if we should watch it all or just skip around.
Ça se passait pour rencontrer de nouveaux
Yeah,
joueurs,
it starts already.
voir d'autres manières de jouer, rencontrer des personnes avec d'autres cultures et autres, voir justement comment eux jouaient au shogi et pouvoir échanger avec elles après les parties.
Je m'appelle Pierre, j'ai découvert le shogi en
Discovered
décembre
cabbage
dernier,
roots last December. It's the word shogi in French
JFJ,
and
on va dire,
cabbage a similar
qui
word.
différentes activités sur l'Asie. Donc, il y avait du shogi, je me suis inscrit, ça me
Hi,
plaît.
bouncing across.
Et là je suis au tournoi en Allemagne.
Okay.
Principalement
I
pour
think
apprendre
we're gonna skip a little bit because I'm more curious about the Shogi lifestyle videos. I see we have interview of many people. This is the current European champion, Vlad. This is Frank, who's the FISA president. This is Grzesiek, who's my Shogi Polish student. And those were the like the tournament table, like the organizers.
Je me présente, je suis Julien Calizac.
This is very well edited, actually.
Ou un truc dans le genre.
Dans la mesure
Je m'appelle Elliot, j'habite à Manosque et je suis participant au championnat d'Europe de shogi. Oui, donc pour l'instant le tournoi se passe plutôt bien. J'ai calculé les variations de tous les joueurs. Et la France gagne, tout va bien. Alors continuez.
J'ai une espèce de fait.
Ce genre de
Kilomètres.
Et puis de gagner de l'expérience et puis Et je me suis retrouvé dans une position très difficile. Il lui manquait un tout petit peu pour mater mon roi. J'ai réussi à m'échapper. Et à ce moment-là, je pense que j'étais mieux, mais c'est encore très
I rarely hear Jean speak in French, so I'm savoring every moment he does.
difficile. Et mon
Oh, you
prochain
understand a
adversaire
lot?
donc, pour la finale, c'est Ladislav, qui vit en Pologne, 4e dan.
D'accord. Et ben, on est tous derrière toi, on te souhaite bonne chance pour cette finale du championnat d'Europe de Shogi 2022.
Merci.
It was quite stressful because the final game was like the next day, so they had to sleep with the idea. Alright, this is the whole venue, yeah? Caro is here. What be the elo of these people? Well, between like super strong, like 2000 something to like first time in the tournament, like 0. I will be uploading. Oh, I forgot. I have the photos. I have to upload them. All right. Now we have chess lifestyle. I didn't see this one yet. European Shogi Championships. Okay. I wonder why is it championships with an S at the end.
Hey guys.
Like the championship is one, unless you count the VOSC as European. Yeah, that makes sense, but also not.
It's Michael from Chess Lifestyle, and I played in the European Shogi Championship this year, and this was my 3rd ever.
15 minutes! Guys, do we spend 15 minutes on watching this video? Good morning, Lincoln.
Shogi tournament, and to be honest, it was actually quite an emotional roller coaster. But yeah, I mean, I wanted to just showcase this
By the way, I hated the shirt. It makes me look fat. It's the shirt that's small.
for you guys because a lot of you don't know kind of like what Shogi is
I
about.
had limited amounts of shirts I brought with Japan.
And
This one was my best one.
yeah, I interviewed
hated
a
it
couple
the whole
people,
second
one
day
is
of the
Karolina,
tournament.
former
I
professional
hated
player in Japan, and also Gregory, who is a shogi enthusiast, also plays some chess as well. So I just thought the interviews were quite interesting, and you might learn something from it, and hopefully you can
Doesn't look too bad from this angle.
get involved in shogi as well, because it's a lot of fun. So
I just had to tell you guys my horrible shame that I had during this day.
enjoy the rest of the video.
Might be also a novice cameraman here.
We have some further announcements, but I think we do it after lunchtime. So
Okay, so
This is a secret room, by the way. This is the room where the pros wait, not a waiting. This is our room where we were like writing shikishi and stuff.
hello, Karo. This is a women's.
And Michael, the Shogi Lifestyle, he was so nervous asking me questions.
Professional player from
So
Japan,
nervous.
originally from Poland, former European champion as well,
Ooh.
and also
Oh God, stop it, stop it, stop, no.
our sensei on
I
Shogi
saw this picture so many times.
Harbour on Discord.
Tripod.
So very
So the thing you guys don't know is that he got this idea of recording this, I think, during the tournament. Like he didn't. My feeling was that he wasn't prepared to like do it properly, and yet, yeah, you don't look
happy
fat.
to
Thank you,
have
Lincoln.
Karo on the channel here.
I was
with
so
us.
self-conscious the whole day.
So
Also, his voice is louder than my voice. That's concerning.
yeah, so
In those times, I would put subtitles, I
the
guess.
event I'm playing in and you're here to spectate is the European Championships. So can you tell us a bit more about the event?
Well, European Shogi Championship is the biggest tournament we have in Europe. It's once per year. I have to point out something because I have to point it out. The like this thing is the middle of the screen, and you probably wanna put the person who's being interviewed, unless there's something interesting behind, in the middle. But I wonder there are different techniques. Also, this lighting is horrible. Also, I realized I'm very negative. I'm stopping the video a lot and I'm very negative. Top 32 players from Europe. But that's
Right.
because I have a lot of emotions about it. Oh no! That's not how you write. Okay, ESC top 32 players compete in knockout. Losers then join the World Shogi Open pool of players. I've never seen the WSO. It's WOSC. This is how it's always had been written. Always. I don't know where he got this idea from. Like, literally, it's on the page of the tournament. Unless I'm wrong. But literally, when I write Vosk, it pops up. Like here, right? Literally here. It says Vosk, not so. But alright. And the rest players can... If you guys write this in the future, it's a Vosk. Yeah? Open tournament, which, by the way, in Polish means Vax. But after a few rounds, both of those tournaments merge into one.
Right.
Yeah,
and
so
the winner of the European Championship
Carol trying to be cool, putting the hand on the table. This is like this background.
gets some
things.
free pass to go to Japan.
I'm nervous, but I put my hand on the table so I look cool, you know.
Right? Is that something like this?
No.
Oh, no?
There's this Rio tournament where like strong Europeans will be invited.
Right. I think that's the one I may be remembering. Yeah.
It's not like... Yeah, so it's not a guarantee that the winner will be invited. So it's a thing that they invite players, but it's not guaranteed. So this is why I was confused.
I see.
So maybe?
Okay. Oh, sure. Right.
Okay, I see why he put me on the right part of the screen, because he can now put on the left like those things. Yeah, so that's smart.
Right.
Nothing like this will happen in Europe because nobody heard about it. I cannot confirm that
For the
Fujibat
viewers,
looks like...
Sota is like the Magnus Carlsen of... I had a go, like...
By the way, I know you guys, like, male, don't bother, but that's exact reason why I have undershirt. That lightning just shows everything I have undershirt, and that's why the undershirt saves me here. I just realized how bad the lightning is here under that context. Alright. That's true, kinda.
Right. Yeah. Karol, get into He is from Poland.
I came European Championship because I like it shogi. My category.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so we had a little bit discussion that McMahon is the tournament system used in Vosk, which is you basically have list of players and then you divide them into groups to begin with. Like the strongest people will have additional few points, the second group will have 1 point, the third group will have 0, let's say, yeah? And it is to, in my opinion, I don't know exactly, it is to assure that strong people will fight against strong people, making tournament more exciting, yeah? It also makes it a little bit more, like, harder for newcomers to win, but also makes it feel more allied, because once you have a good rating, you kind of become eligible to that group, higher group. Yes, I kind of like it, especially when, you know, this tournament had, 80 people, but it happened in the past, it had like 120. And then it's really hard to decide the winner, you know, in 9 rounds. So having this McMahon kind of helps, in my opinion. Thank you for the follow, Alexander.
Player, I don't grow up to and don't have a chance to play with
Right.
player, but
Yeah, exactly. I'll leave a link in the description.
Yeah, so this is what we're selling. This is so cheap. This was 10 euros. This bag and those pieces, 10 euros.
Key definite elements of chess is a really underrated game. I mean, it has lots of elements of chess, the same calculation.
I was kind of offended by this guy's t-shirt that say FC UK. I don't know if what is the smartest t-shirt to wear. I don't know if I'm missing a joke, but I didn't like it. I'm sorry, random person. I'm sorry, I just didn't like your t-shirt.
calculation was
Also, guys, I made, you see all those like Belarusian here, like the t-shirts here and the t-shirt here. I took picture of each and every Shogi t-shirt I could find, apart from this one, I just realized. Every t-shirt, and I put it in Shogi fashion folder, and it's gonna be on our page.
same checkmate, but
It's a
really
thing?
has
Okay.
some crazy fireworks, and it's almost a more pure kind of attacking game than chess. Because
What was yours,
chess,
Lincoln? I
you've got many
forgot.
other factors that play maybe perhaps even like greater importance of the game, but shogi is really about like this kind of
Yeah, so
attacking.
I'm still confused. It's singular, right? It's the winner of European Shogi Championship. It's like a one thing. It's like during this day, during this event. So I really think it should be singular, especially the word behind here says singularly. Just to make it clear, yeah, there isn't many championship. There's only one per year.
Intuition. And I think for any chess players out there who perhaps have felt some burnout during their chess careers, I think to play shogi is a great alternative to, you know, keep up your chess brain without playing chess. And actually,
So again, it's World Open Shogi tournament.
some really famous chess players have turned to shogi. I think Ivanchuk has played shogi, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, so this year they had this very cool thing. They put top 32 players in Europe on stage together. This is the people who qualify to European Shogi Championship. They qualify by having rating points, yeah, higher than the others.
Who was that really strong?
Megadeth,
I forgot
see.
him as very strong grandmaster from the US, but he's a big shogi fan. And yeah, basically, a lot of strong chess players
Kaufman wasn't
have worked with shogi, and basically some of them have even like learned something from it. And I think the best quote
Famous Natasha Reagan winning Best Women's Prize. I
from
actually
a
was
chess
really happy
slash
for
shogi
her.
player was
By the way, if you ever guys are on stage, I think, like in Japan, they put a lot of pressure. You always want to remember about the audience. So if you ever be in this
from-
situation and you have to go there, I would turn left and go there, then right and go there. But that's just a small thing.
chess slash shogi player
Yeah, it looks better as a presentation, perhaps.
was playing shogi actually taught him the importance of forcing variations and getting really good
Big
at
shout
these
out to
kind of sharp
Melkor.
double-edged positions
Yay,
to the
Melkor.
point where he felt like
Melkor got a youngest, like under 18 years old prize, not the youngest.
he had like, you know,
But I think,
stepped
I'm
up
pretty sure
a
he was
level
the
or two
youngest.
as a grandmaster, having played a lot of sharp
Nice
double-edged shogi. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it for a lot of chess players to just try and have fun with. I mean, there is a website called leeshogi.org now, which is similar to Lee Chess. And yeah, I mean, just join the Shogi Harbour Discord and you'll be accepted with
Corona. Yeah,
a
so,
very
this is the moment, guys. Remember when I said
welcome.
Carol was crying when
I mean,
people from
honestly, like,
Harbour
the
wrote on the stage? Look,
community-
I forgot to mention, but Jean is also there. So we have 4 people out of
are always
7
fascinated by chess
on
players
stage
because
from Harbour. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, 6.
you know, we've already got some kind of like intuition about the game. So it's always interesting to see how we respond to playing shogi. But yeah, that's all from me, and I'd really like to hear if you had any thoughts about the video or about shogi in general. And yeah, if you've got any questions, I'd be very happy to answer
Yeah, and every
them about
participant got a
shogi.
prize,
So,
actually, that's true.
hope you enjoyed that.
There was like a table over there, and people were slowly walking there and picking up prizes. So the idea is if you win, you get to be the first to choose, right? So you get the better prize.
And see you in the next video. Bye.
Yeah, see, this shirt is much better. The shirt. Is it? No, that's the other shirt, right? Obey. I didn't notice Lincoln. Oh my god. Hey, there's always another tournament. I had bad championships too. It happens. Yeah, it's okay. Even if a professional shogi player records you resigning and puts it online, it's that I love that humor. Yeah, sorry about that, but I was in the bad moment at the wrong time. Wrong place, wrong time. But I'm glad he came with humor at the end. Yeah, it was good summary. By the way, Michael is a great guy. I think he was a little bit too serious about the tournament and like too conscious about his result. But I guess if you're ambitious, you will be conscious. So I guess I cannot complain on that. But he did a great job. He fought, yeah, until the end, and then he made this video. I have really hard time making videos of times when I don't have fun. So I'm really amazed that he did it. Respect there, yeah. All right. Perfect. Yeah, I literally don't think. All right. Just making sure to tell people that their videos are appreciated. All right, and now we can go to the main topic, which is the the book. Hope you guys enjoyed the videos. I remember having to resign on board 1, table 1 in the final round of team tournament with over 100 teams. Spectator gathered the worst times. Yes. Speaking of Shogi Harbour t-shirt, like I know that someone is designing one, so I'm having hopes, but we will see. Okay, I speaking of my Shisha, he's writing to me, so I have hard time like ignoring him. So I will be half reading what he's writing and half preparing. Shuban. Shuban meaning Endgame. I was also pretty proud of my Shikishi this year. I went like very creative. I don't know if you guys saw, like I had this. I'm pretty sure you guys saw on Discord, right? With the token and one pawn is worth more than 1,000 golds. Like, I mean, yeah, like the harbor thing, like, of course, like, this is the most epic piece of thing that we ever did. But the Shikishi also, I don't know who took it, but like, I had this one. Token is faster, this is opposite, right? Is it Asia? Token is faster than you think, with a airplane flying behind people like the airplane. And then I had another one with, well, basically those, right? So pawn is worth more. It's worth 1,000 golds, and he had like this detailed crown on top of it. and the lance than my typical one. So when I was a young shogi player, I like to draw. Not that I'm not young, but I like to draw comics, shogi comics, and it reminded me of it. And maybe I shall continue those. People seem to enjoy it. I enjoy it. I mean, traditional Japanese calligraphy is a thing, but this is definitely original, right? I was answering my shisho. Okay. At least he resigned with grace, yes. Like, I think the opponent's reaction was just like, or something. It was weird. Like, if it was in Japan, it would be like weird. Like, you should be more humble about it. There's nothing bad about proper timed and careful resignation. You just admit that opponent was better, which is the word commendable the correct word? Like, it's worth a price. This is something you should learn as a shogi player too, yeah? We're not kids that are like, yeah, you want that, smash all the pieces. No, that's not this game, yeah? Nobody knows. All right, where were we? In the book. We spent 30 minutes of the stream doing other stuff. I think we started new chapter called Space Domination, but we translated it later into Occupation, Space Supremacy. So we had that endgame, both sides going for kings, reduce the battlefield, important areas and non-important areas are within the 81 squares. And when we control that important area, we win. That's what we learned. And also we learned that we need to make space for kobodo piece. Kobodo piece is our new English word. So kobo, or written like kobo, that's offensive defensive piece. And sounds like Komodo dragon, so I made up a word kobodo piece, yeah? Because it makes sense to my horrible brain. All right. So here we talked about the importance of creating checks. Checks means, we chase this king away out of safety and then surrounded him. And this is the space occupation. So we took space by taking the initiative. You know how they say in war, bring the war to the enemy territory, right? Something like this. It works. So once more, now what they can do is, once they take away your pieces, we're gonna lose control. So we shouldn't allow that. And this is more detailed example that every time a piece is dropped in the main battlefield, they become kobodo piece, like immediately. Don't have to think about this, yeah, because this silver, it's clear actually, like it's next to the king, stops the dragon, on top of it attacks the king, defense attack, kobo. Yeah, so instead we again take the initiative and put the king in the corner, occupating more territory. And here there's another technique where we talked about how to keep our king safe in the enemy territory. Well, do not allow them to create checks. So the lance actually prevented many types of checks here, like a knight drop will be just eaten here. And we had 4 techniques used, so create the escaping route, shielding, which is the lance drop, escape early, and surrounding the enemy king, which is when the king went into the corner here, yeah? Then we had another example, which was way more difficult. We actually ended up ended up sacrificing one of our pieces in order to push enemy piece back, rather than just dropping our piece. And it was important because we had the continuous threat of checkmate. Here, our threatmate was deleted by checks. Here, it was, even if the bishop is not here, it's still threatmate, so that was important here, yeah? Occupation 1. All right, and we will go to next problem. And this was occupation, and now we have another new word, new technique, so I need to translate it. Any questions so far? If you guys have any question anytime. Hansha. Reflex. Reflex or reflection? We're gonna see. Reflecting. So this was occupation. And this will be reflect. Reflect. Deflect. Is deflect different than deflect? Apparently one of the deflect translation is furibisha, not furi. All right. Okay. So now we will use a technique which again uses the checks, especially when both kings are very close to each other, like next to each other even. It has a very high effect. So the position now, let's see. They have 3 golds, 2 knights, 2 lances, yeah? We have nothing. We don't have a knight here, so there is no cool checkmate. And the fact is we don't have a way to checkmate this king, stupidly enough, right? We are next to each other, but those gold needs, like those pieces need 2 more movements, right? So they are not in checkmate, and our king, of course, you know, gold drop at the head will kill it off. God has a lot of pieces in hand. Sand has 0. Sand is empty. So there is no piece to drop. What do we do? Do you guys have an idea? In this type of situation, what would you do? First problem of the day. So Alexander says run. Where would you run to though? If you run here, we have a knight drop. They have a lot of pieces, I remind you. If you go here, it's a checkmate. If you go back, again, gold drop at the head. King goes back. Here, I guess lance drop will be the simplest way to finish off the king. Silver takes, dragon check, gold drop again at the head. Okay, go. Henro is proposing gold 7-7, so this move. Run for your life. So running for years, guys. Remember what we talked about last chapter. Running means you either run away to safety. Remember the soldier talking that was space secured. Either you run toward the safety, specifically the enemy promotion zone, or away from the enemy piece, or toward your defenders. And the running away only works if they don't have enough pieces, right? Like if you run from enemy pieces, if they don't have enough pieces, you just slowly take more space, and they run out of ammo. Here, they have like every possible piece on the hand, so, and you're running toward the enemy dragon. So just the theory of that idea doesn't work. Okay. Oh, it's the Iron Maiden lyrics. I have to polish my music knowledge then. All right, well, let's see. So of course, gold drop 8-6 is checkmate for the enemy. It seems like we are a little bit troubled as Sente because we have nothing in hand. But in this situation, gold 7-7, congratulations Gohenro, is the correct move. This is a move that solves our problem. So what is happening here? Goddess King is on 8-5. And in this situation, it's a little bit difficult what he's trying to explain, but remember how they drop the gold and checkmate our king? Well, now we prevent that, because if we take, we have a check. If they drop the knight, we take. If they drop again, we take, and it's a check. So we counter any of their attacking moves by checking their king and taking the initiative back. It's quite a simple situation, but he's explained the theory behind it. You can say, oh, they just cannot drop it here because there's gold. Yeah, but the truth is, it's a check, therefore this is why it's painful, yeah? Sentinel Semeode. Okay. So the conclusion is that we turn around the tables, and so basically it's reflecting, deflecting, I guess, deflecting of enemy attack. By checking, yeah, by check. So we deflect their gold drop by our check, kinda. Hello, three of me. If you put your gold here, we also have an space supremacy, like the pressure on the squares. And therefore, because we have pressure on the squares, as you guys remember, yeah, the main battlefield, this becomes a pressure on the enemy king, a very defensive, offensive piece, a very good piece to have. So think of it like this, our gold entered the main battlefield, therefore it feels so powerful. Now, if you were made a mistake and moved the silver instead, and it's the same idea, unfortunately there is a dragon shank from below, right? So it's gonna be painful in a way. We'll have to defend. I don't know actually what's going to happen. Tonshi, it says you're gonna lose immediately, so let's see. If we go here, if they go back, of course gold drop, yeah? If the gold goes here, I mean, we almost can sacrifice the whole dragon here, but what am I missing? We don't have a diagonal. There would be a mate. It's not obvious. Okay, so basically, if you move the silver here and the dragon comes here, and you move the gold here, so let's simplify this position: silver, gold, dragon. Then you have a technique which is gonna be knight drop, gold drop, lance takes, gold drop. I think maybe I lied, because the gold can take here, and then gold can take here, and then we're out of golds. This is not working. We need one more gold. I'm bamboozled. How is it Gekten? Of course we can sacrifice the dragon, and then king takes, lance drop, knight takes, that also doesn't work. I'm bamboozled. What am I missing? Why is it Tonshi? This is what confused you earlier. Okay, so let's figure it out together. So let me double read. So they say here 7/7 silver is 8/9 dragon. Once it comes, you lose the game immediately. Maybe dragon 10 goes. If silver takes, it's a mate, right? But what if king takes is my problem. It's gonna be, I think... Okay, let me double check. Lance drops, yeah, because silver is here, so every time we drop the lance, silver takes the lance and it becomes a check, so that's the problem. I don't see it. So if dragon takes, just drop everything. If king takes, we have 4 golds, 2 knights, 2 lances. So it's 4 and 4. 4 light pieces, 4 generals. Gold drop to 7/8. I thought it looks promising. King takes. Knight drop to 6/6. If anything takes, I thought it leads to a mate. But if king runs to 8/7 again, maybe then we drop 8/8 gold again. We have 2 golds left after that. Lance drop will lead to a faster mate, so king takes again. We have 2 golds. Are we? Oh, do we have enough pieces? King takes. We have 2 lances, 1 knight, 1 gold. Do we have 1 gold or 2 golds? Sacrifice 1, sacrifice second. We have 2 golds. So then we drop it to 7/8 again. King runs to the edge to sacrifice the second one or the lance. You cannot take the silver because they have a mate, so we sacrifice. And then we have no mate. Am I blind, guys? Do we need to go? Let me think how we can set up this position. Freeboard, edit. Okay, this doesn't work. So collection, new key, import, edit position, edit template, 2 kings. So 8, 5 king and this one. Then there's pawns here. Spawn here. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Dragon over here. Dragon over here. Silver over here. Gold. Lance. Token. Correct. We have nothing in hand. Then we have pieces in hand that we don't have. Save. Edit position, play. Save problem. You need to be logged in. No! Oh gosh. Save. Problem. Alright, it worked. So now play the correct move. Okay. Maybe it's right. So if we go here, they can do nothing. It says wrong. Wait, can we play after that? No, we can. I was hoping we can play after that. Oh my gosh. Fine. Shogi, what will help us? Shogi? Trying to solve problems using computer seems more difficult than I expected. Bird opening. Page not found. Oh well. Study. Okay, because they have bishop, yeah, but okay. So Sven is incorrect. How do we correct? I think the way Sven works is that it shows we have 2 bishop. Oh god. Why cannot I delete just one thing? Okay, link. This is helpless, guys. This is helpless. Okay, 2 bishop, 2 knight. No, 0 silver. 0 S. 2 knight, 2 lance. Do we say 0 pawn or just delete the pawn? Let's try this. Okay, it worked. Was it correct? 3 golds, 2, 2. All right, yeah, we got this. So the computer does show this as the correct move. And then as you can see, whatever they do, everything becomes a check. Like this is maybe the best thing we can do. Maybe king takes is even better, yeah. You can do all the checks you want, Mr. Computer, all the checks you want, but the end is this king has nothing to do. Yeah, the trivial thing is something I hate, actually. I told you guys the story about when I had this very difficult lesson, which was... I don't even know how to translate to English. Like you had those equation where you have too many unknowns, but you still simplify it somehow. Atomic equation? I don't remember. And we had a very strict teacher. And we had the book about it. It was in Polish. And I was reading it. And it had that specific thing. And you solve this and the rest is trivial. And I was like, this is a basic book. Why do you say it's trivial when it's a basic book and we're trying to learn? Why is it trivial? And you know what? I got the English version of the same book. And they had everything written out. The guy was just too lazy to translate it. And this is why I want to do a basic shogi book which explains everything, you know? Do not confuse people. All right, so let's say silver takes. Rook, gold. What's going to happen? Takes, king takes, gold drop, yes. King takes, and now what? How is it Tonshi? The computer says it's equal. So my one solution was like this. But as you can see, in this moment, we don't have enough golds. I would like to drop one more here, but we don't have the gold. And then we figure out maybe this is a mate, because if silver takes, you know, gold drop wins. And now the computer agrees. Oh, computer found something. Okay, this is the line that I was reading. Okay, so if we take, you know, gold drop clears out everything. That was my impression. If we go here, okay, that's a move I didn't consider. How does it help us? Knight drop, pawn takes, gold drop, king takes, gold drop. So I assume the previous variation doesn't work because we have an... Huh? Guys, we just opened a square for our lens. Or a gold. Gold is better, I guess. This is crazy. This was working, actually. So in this position, we sacrifice the... So in this position, my mistake was I was calculating gold sacrifice first. But knight drop first opens up this square, which then... What if king goes up though? King goes up. If we take this, we drop silver. Like this, yeah? Because here gold drop is what we need. This is what I was lacking in my solution. And gold takes, yeah. Speaking of which, technically speaking, this lens is better because it gives us one additional piece, but... Wow. Computer indeed saved us. So, indeed, it's a Tonshi, sudden death. So let's add it here. Rook 8-9. Gold 8-8. And we took it immediately, right? I wonder if we could sacrifice the knight before that whole variation. Anyway, gold 8-8, dragon takes, king takes, gold drop 7-8, king takes, knight drop. This is a real Tonshi, by the way. 8-7, knight drop 8-5, which is like great. Pawn takes, and then Gold drop 8-8, king takes, gold drop 7-8, king 8-7. If king goes to 9-8, that's lance drop 9-6. And king 8-7, gold takes 7-7, king takes, silver drop 8-6, ton, mate. Yeah. I mean, clearly you don't have to read the whole variation. This is, by the way, this is a good point. Sometimes in shogi, you have two moves that seem possible, right? And if you were to read it with your skill, like the silver to 7-7 or gold to 7-7, which is better, you should choose the one that's simpler, right? So gold 7-7 is simple. It's so simple. It's like you win in 3 moves. Silver 7-7 looks like winning, perhaps, because, oh, they don't have a mate after this very long. Just to... I lost my topic because I read comment. Every shogi stream is just booting up a computer to resolve a line listed in the book as trivial, just thus an extra tutor of the subject. Yeah, very trivial. Hey, we're here to learn, and we just learn a cool edge and endgame Tesuji. I don't see what's wrong with that because the topic of the stream is endgame. But if you just came here to read the book and you like the tempo we're doing it, I'm sorry about that. All right. Yeah, so this also teaches us about like move candidates. Yeah, sometimes we get lost in... If we were to start with the silver, we would get lost in the whole variation, not even consider the gold. This is why Habu Sensei once said that first you should consider the wider over the deeper variation. So first, find candidate moves, and then, only then, read it. Which one you read first, it's, matter of experience or intuition. Here you could say that, simply speaking, oh, we don't want to allow the dragon check. That's the simplest logic. Dragon check brings a big powerful piece next to our king, complicates the situation. Gold seems to be rather safe, because they don't have the diagonal piece to check us from this diagonal. This is something I learned. So looking into many variation a little bit instead of very few lines very deep. Thought if you have the time, just look deep into everything. No, it's not practical. You won't have time. You won't have time in a game. And here, sure, here we're on stream, we do have time. So we will look at this line because this is my job to find out. Yeah, I cannot leave it for you guys to decipher Japanese language here. I have to find out and tell you why. In normal game, you do have to make shortcuts like this. Eventually, you, of course, will get faster and faster and faster, like Fuji, like who just, oh yeah, it's a mate in 33, in 5 seconds, he will see that. But even the other pros will have to do such shortcuts because we are all humans, right? All right, so let's not spoil the answer if I already did. Maybe I just did. So, diagram 14. 14. Otagai Gyoku ga, both kings are on the edge. And this pawn is the biggest pawn on the board right now. Go tekata, later. They have the more stiffness. How do you translate that? My understanding of that is they have like more safe king, perhaps. Oh, this is good problem. All right, I'm not gonna say more. I will be back in a second. You guys think about it. All right, guys, an idea? Yesterday I was sitting in my room and I had window open and somebody outside sneezed very loudly and somebody else shouted Gesundheit. Gesundheit, like bless you, but it was like, I'm pretty sure they were like strangers and one was very loud, the other was like applying the same volume of bless you to the volume of the sneeze, probably shouting from the other side of the street. That's what I imagined. So I thought, it's so nice of him to shout it out. Anyway, I don't know anything. Maybe they were friends, maybe something, but like in my imagination, there's like two strangers like on the other side of the road. Anyway. My immediate thought is dragon takes 1/6, king takes silver drop 2/6, the pawn is threatening Tsume with gold drops 2/8, king takes rook drop. Yeah. Wish I had a bishop. Okay, Toad, how would a bishop save you? That's a good question. How would a bishop save you? Yeah. All right, so just to explain something simple that doesn't look simple again, we should consider this move, but then Gote will drop a guard here, and the author is saying that guard of the 5 is Kobo the move, and it creates this space supremacy. So just to not overcomplicate it again, basically then king would be safer. Yeah. This is moment, in fact, what the author is saying, this is the moment where Sente have a chance. And there is the variation that Jusen pointed out beautifully. Dragon takes 1/6. King takes silver drop. So silver drop is not a check. Silver drop is not a check. But we have a hishi. Why not dragon 1-8, then king 2-8, which is a discovered check. So also a very good point. We will have 2 silvers and 1 knight. So the king will start running toward here. Do you have any way of stopping him from this point? No, right? Does he have a way to checkmate you? Yes, a singular rook drop. So he will survive, even though it's an open check. He will survive, and you will lose because you're in Hishi and he's not. All right. So now we're gonna consider the other lines. So of course, if we don't do anything, they have gold drop, rook drop. That's obvious, right? We have to do something. If we just make check, the king runs to safety. If we do check, take off the pawn, the king also runs to safety. If we do this check, king takes, silver drop. And now discussing this, Jusen says, my idea doesn't work since they're still mate. All right, let's see. So they have 2 rooks and 3 golds. They can make a check using gold, they can make a check using rook. The funny part about rook drop is that we can drop the knight and it's gonna be check. The fact is, though, they have a lot of pieces, so they will just take and redrop. So indeed, it doesn't seem to be working, right? What if 9 drop to 8 here? 9 drop to 8, they might start escaping early, right? But then we can take off the pawn, perhaps safely. Push them back. This book was really harder. We're getting to the end of the book. This gets really a bit hard. But you guys survived all the previous chapters, so we can do it. Yeah, we can do it. The problem with other moves like this is that they will just checkmate us from this side. Yeah. So what Jusen is thinking, we block off this square, which is the vital square for the enemy, threatening something, which will work as a defense as well. So like a knight drop, yeah? Knight drop. Knight drop, though, leads to a mate with a gold drop. They're gonna take, we take, they take, and drop the knight here. We have 2 golds left, so gold leads to a mate. And having, of course, silver there feels a little bit less threatening, right? I'm a little bit confused at this point once more. Yeah. You like the idea. So dragon sack, king takes, knight drop, king runs, and then here's silver drop. Oh, that might be it, Gohero. But what if they drop the rook here? And make a check on your king. If you jump with the knight, they just... I wanted to say they just take, but then I realized all the squares in front of our king and behind we are controlling. So suddenly it's not so easy. If you drop, they take silver king runs, yeah? Maybe it is. Alright. Let's see again. Dragon sack. Dragon sack, king takes knight drop. I assume that king goes to here instead of here, because we want to go toward that space rather. Although, you know, king here, silver drop, and we try to protect silver drop with rook drop over here, it might be considerable. In which case, pawn push would be interesting, but all right. But rook takes, knight takes, gold drop would be a mate. No, takes is a check again. Oof. All right. Let's see what the book says. At once, it looks like Sente's king is safe, but rook drop is not. Oh, I'm stupid. It doesn't work. Oh, I'm stupid, guys. Remember how I said rook drop is a knight check, and I'm like, oh, it doesn't work because we just take. Now look what happens. If we take the knight, we have another check. Yeah, I missed the lens. So Jusen was actually right, yeah, to begin with. Silver drop to 2-6 was the correct move. But again, yeah, gold drop also doesn't work. Now I will have another question, but I guess... Okay, yeah, okay, they mentioned it. Good, good. Wow. So he's undying, a zombie. I don't know. So we are in Tsume. So dead, but at the same time undead, if it makes sense. Like, we should be dead, but because the enemy king is there, we live as a zombie, kinda. Like an undead. It's amazing. All right. So let's read this first and then read this first. It says, so this area that is shown is clearly what we've seen. This is the occupation. Occupation tactic successful. Now what they can do, all hail the zombie king, yeah! What they can do, so as you guys see, if this line is open, the lance is checkmating the king. So they might try to drop the gold here. This is another technique worth knowing, to make a check on our king. But then we take it with the silver, The king runs, and this is where we dropped our last silver here. And this is Hishi once more. Now we will have gold instead of the silver. In case they drop the rook, we just drop the knight. In case they drop the gold, we take it with silver. So that's a clear Zetto in that case. Yeah, the Zorro king. The zombie Zorro. Zombie Zorro. King, yeah. A very beautiful example. Oh my gosh. Alright, and the summary of it is that the reflection, I don't know if you call it reflection or deflection or... We didn't decide on that yet, right? I would say deflect the enemy check against them. I would say deflection technique. Is it a word? My brain is now confused. Deflect, deflection. Turning aside, of course, deviation. Deflecting. Something in engineering. An event where an object collides and bounces off. Okay, deflection. It is an English word. Let's go for that. It's in term in chess as well. Okay, let's go with that. If it's in chess term, let's use it. Reflection, yeah, but what's the difference between reflection and deflection right now? Yeah, reflection in my imagination is when some image reflects, and deflection in my feeling is more active, where you like actually do some action toward it rather than just static image. Pulling something away, yeah. Deflection is a term in chess as well, where you lure a piece away from the defense. So it's not the same thing here, yeah? It's not the same luring away, because we have the lure technique. It's another one. This is deflecting. You deflect the enemy check by your check, kinda. Let's go with that for now. Maybe in the future, people will come up with better terminology, but we're gonna go with deflect. It sounds like Pokemon move. Yeah, let's go with that. Pokemon move. Deflect. Deflect. So the deflect. Parry. No, it's not a parry. Parry is... Oh, it is a parry. Parry is when you take a sword and then you counter, right? I guess it's kind of parry, yes. Yeah, I'm both of those words, but using the Japanese one, it says to reflect. So we're gonna go with deflect. It looks like defect. It's deflect. For now, yeah. In the future, we can call it parry or something. Which would make sense, because we said that the king is the last stander with sword and he's parrying the enemy attack. I'm gonna write it down, yeah, as a parry is a good word perhaps as well. It goes with our imagination. All right, so in order to use deflect, we have the occupation theory. You bring the enemy king toward you. So you, I guess the lure technique works. You lure it toward your territory. And because of that, checks are easier to make. So, making deflect easier to use by bringing or luring enemy king to our occupied territory. And also, it means that easier checks are possible, yeah? So like the knight drop here, this was so important. It makes it so much easier for us. Okay, more spoilers. Okay, we have nothing in hand. Okay, so as we already established, the reflection theory is a good theory where the kings are close by, right? We established that sometimes we lure the enemy king closer. But how about the opposite? How about us bringing our king toward enemy? So our old style, I will checkmate you with my king. That's what we used to say 10 years ago or something. Yeah, something like Bogyoku, but Bogyoku is an opening strategy. We're talking endgame. Well, I think we arrive at JoJo reference again. Come closer, yeah. It's funny because the Japanese says the word chikazuku, which is like literally what the Dio is saying. So I think we have to.
Oh shit.
Oh, that's a meme. That's not what I wanted. Is it the actual one? No, it's the same one. But anyway, the meme is they just walk toward each other, basically.
Sure, the speaker is amazed or impressed.
Oh, you can learn Japanese.
Then what if you're standing by Jotaro's side, looking at him walking toward kuru or iku is used after the verb.
Can learn so much Japanese from that singular scene. Wow. Mukatte kuru because he's coming toward him.
せっかく祖父のジョセフが私のザワールドの正体を試験終了チャイム直前まで問題を解いている受験生のような必死こいた気分で教えてくれたというのに近づかなきゃてめえをぶちのめせないんだなほほうでは十分近づくがよい
Yes, it is very colorful. So I want you guys to have that in mind when look at this bro. Who knew that Shogi has a JoJo reference? Because JoJo references in everything. Alright, so they're saying that this is a special technique that you go toward them specifically but your own volition. Let's analyze position 16. It looks like Senta is losing, right? They have a horse there, but oh. So this is our Dio. This is Dio. And this is Jojo. Yeah, you guys got it? You know what to do, right? So the problem is that the enemy, if we do nothing, they will... Again, we have no pawns in hand, yeah? They will drop the gold. Silver takes, and will be Tsume. And now we have to find out what to do. Sleeping Bird says King to 6, threatening checkmate. Alright. And then Jusen says combining the ideas. King to 6, gold 3-5, king 2-5. I assume 1-5. Gold takes, king takes. Yes, correct. Correct. Let me open it up. So, indeed, we will go here And we treat and checkmate, as we already established, with lance. So we don't have enough pieces. What we're doing is we are using piece that's on the board to help us. King goes here, opens the lance. The enemy will try to stop us. They will try to take this off. It looks like it's a mate. But finally, as we learned in the previous example, king retaking will be an amazing countermeasure. So, of course, Gotek cannot drop anything onto these squares because silver is protecting it. We have the supremacy here. If they take, the lance is the powerful piece that's going to finish off the king. And this is the deflect theory in the amazing practical example. In this example, silver on 2-5 is the occupator, I guess, of this space. The fact that the silver is here is the biggest point, yeah? So again, if king goes to 2-6, lance takes pawn is checkmate, red. If they wanna prevent it, they have to put our king in front of the lance, but even though the king is in front of our lance, they still cannot do anything. So that's the theory behind. And the conclusion is, once the kings are opposing each other, the pieces that are close by, become kobo. So the count of those pieces around the king becomes the main issue. So technically speaking, we upgraded silver and lance to kobo. Yeah, in a way. Can they not drop a piece to block the lance? How would you do that, Sleeping Bird? I'm gonna summarize what I said somehow. And if you explain, we're gonna check the variation. It also, I would say, it's like we run toward our defender in a way as well. It's amazing. All right. After king 2-6, drop something on 1-4. So the question is, what? Because they have lance, gold, rook. Anything he drops, we just take, and then lance takes 1-5, and using that piece that you just take, lance drop to 5, for example, because that's the weakest piece, would be a checkmate. So simply lance take is not gonna work. Or is it? Simply lance takes. This time it's gonna lose Jusen because let's assume king, lance, right? Silver is the correct move. But if we were to take it with the lance first, gold drop will finish us off, because now king runs, takes the gold, king takes, and now sorry, no, not take the silver. Let me redo that. Gold, king runs, lance take lance, king takes, and then we take off the silver, king takes, and now they have the supremacy. Our important silver on 2-5 is gone. Is lance not check? No, because we just dropped the piece on 1-4. Right? I mean, if we were to do it without taking it, the correct move is to take the lance first, but I'm explaining the situation. If the king goes here, they drop the lance, and you took here, which is not a check, right? Correct move is to continue making checks, of course. But I wanted to prove a point that if we stop doing that and we go here, they take away our pieces and therefore create their supremacy, which counters our occupation. All right. So we established that they can do nothing because they don't have a way to prevent us from taking 1-5. The only way I would see it possible is when we had a knight and drop it here. But even then, king taking the pawn will be a powerful move. And then they're gonna prevent us from making this check using horse. It's gonna be very close fight. But yeah, if they had a knight, it would be a close fight. The fact that they do not have a knight makes it much simpler. Okay. So we got this example. Let me do this just in case. And all right, I had to censor a little bit more. Saigoni. So the last example. Let's see. I'm not gonna read the text first. So they have again like tons of pieces, like rook, 2 golds, 2 silvers, and we have rook and bishop. It's our turn. We have both kings very far away, so I don't know how the reflection technique might help us here. It's gonna be interesting. We have the knight here next to the king. We have the gold here that's kind of far away, but eventually coming here might have to capture a king over here. We have a bishop. On the other hand, they have a bishop here. They have a token here. They have a checkmate in 1, right? What can we do? If we were to go for checkmate, like rook drop, king takes, bishop drop, king will run to here. Here. Goes here. Here. Check runs. Yeah. Unless knight promotion, but it also runs. If the king were to go here instead of here, gold king runs, check runs, and it's also not made because the bishop's here. So both lines would work. So we don't have mate. I think I know what they're trying to do. Wait, it's more complex again. Wow, okay, wait. Wait. The rook defends, but notice that their bishop is very strong. So if you were only to have the rook here, they're gonna exchange it and then redrop on 7-7. Yeah. So let's say rook, king up, and you bring the gold, they're gonna checkmate you by rook drop, take, gold, or something. Yeah? So we need something more. I found it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, sleeping. I think so. It's like the Shogi god is laughing. They say. The female god is laughing or something. Laughing for Santa's. A blessing Santa or something like that. So this is a little bit special technique. Yeah, special. Santa is in Hishi, right? Santa in Hishi. Is it a Hishi though? But actually, Santa has a way to win, which is rook drop, king runs up, and then bishop drop. But at first I thought maybe like bishop drop here will force them to drop a piece and allow us to checkmate, but silver drop didn't seem like a mate, so bishop drop here. Santa's luck is turning. Yes, so they also say that silver drop is not a mate. Not mate. In this position, Gote. If Gote makes a check, rook takes is reverse check. Yeah, whatever check they do, it's over. Even if you drop the rook here, it's over. You just block the rook here, and this is crazy position, by the way. It's like dragon being able to be taken, but this is a check, so it's an open check. Always a reverse check. Yakuote. And therefore, because of that, Santa's king actually is not a checkmate. So this is our favorite Tsumero no Gare Tsumero. Even though it was a Hishi, it wasn't a Hishi. So, even if kings are far away, big pieces can use deflection or the parry. I think parry fits more, yeah. The parry technique. Yeah, so it's rare for it to come up like this, but it's, you know, good to know. If the silver drop rook takes, rook. Yeah, we talked about this. Gote can do nothing. This is a beautiful example. Wouldn't you be angry? Wouldn't you be angry when you have so many pieces in hand and they just drop those two pieces and you're like, yep, you lost. Like, it's crazy. All right, let's finish off this chapter. We have the computer games here. On diagram 20, oh god, what's going on here? On diagram 20, we're going into big check tsume. In the current situation, this will lead to a mate. And the first step we have to do is to prevent it. In this situation, as you guys remember, only defend illegal. By the way, I have this book that's Endgame Rules by Naito, and the first example in the book is very difficult, and I wanted to show you after we finish this book. And it basically broke my brain, because I've told you last stream that only defend is bad, but that example is the exception. For some reason, only defend works there, so I will show you the another day. For now, we have to learn that only defend is not gonna work, and we want a multi-purpose move here. Multi-purpose. What would we do? What can we do here? Let's see. So we have a rook, we have a knight, we have 4 pawns, we have those 2 big pieces here. Apart from that, you know, this gold, this silver doesn't seem to be helpful. I mean, I assume it's a rook drop, but... rook comes to mind, but the problem is what if they go here, yeah? Well, in endgame, the only defense sort of move doesn't work because it's an endgame. Exactly. Because it's the question of who attacks faster, and just by defending you cannot win, right? Multi-purpose move. Yeah, knight drop 5/5 opening the bishop diagonal is also super interesting, I think, yes. But how does it help us, practically speaking, yeah? Seeing cool moves is good, but seeing working moves is better, yeah? I mean, I don't know, maybe it's working, it's just that I need a proof, yeah? I'm also considering about moves like this. If king takes, we have easier time dropping the rook here. If pawn takes, this bishop line becomes open, so I quite like that move. It's just that he's asking for multi-purpose, so I wonder if this is the timing we have to do it, or... Like, just defend would be like this, right? It cannot be good. Then we learned about the king's running, but king running is not a multi-purpose. I think they will just surround us. You know, taking off this gold and stuff. All right, you guys ready for the reveal? Ooh, how about this one? I also started thinking about this rook drop a little bit. little bit less aggressive. And I know we talked about the importance of checks, but going for surround rather. Yeah. I don't know. All right. Reveal in 3, 2, 1. Guys, you are all right. Yeah, all right. This is the best move. All right. So yes, taking the Teban, taking the initiative, and also preventing Dragon 8/8. It's really effective. Yeah. Gote retakes initiative. Yeah, of course. They can drop the gold here, but then takes knight drop, king runs, gold drop again, king runs to here. Finally, we're gonna take the knight, which is the occupation, and that line will be good. If you drop a pawn on silver, pushing the pawn is enough apparently. What if the king runs? My question. Okay, this is a very complex, I see. What if the king runs? All right, but the point is, I remind you, yeah, if the gold drop takes knight drop, gold drop again, king runs. So we pushed him back like this. And at the end, we take here. And this is important that those two moves were played. Knight drop and gold. Because we create this area, safe zone, for our king, and we push them back as well. Now they will try to chase us. Yeah, take, run, silver drop, run. And because the knight is not here, our king manages to enter that area and is safe. Now, practically speaking, they drop the pawn, but knight drop, king runs. Then taking the lance over here led to the ending. Sente won. And now they talk about the explanation of this position. That even if you take unpromoted runs, promotion takes, lance drop leads stalemate. But also if you're not able to take the horse, it's horrible, yeah? So Gote, no defense, in short. But it didn't answer my question about the king move. Guys, today we have so many questions. What if king runs? I know Alexandra will be disappointed again that we're trying to solve this trivial situation, but I think maybe then we take the knight anyway. So if the king runs here, take the knight. And if the pawn takes, knight drop, bishop takes the gold becomes a very powerful move. King going closer to the rook, sorry. So I think if the king goes here, we simply take the knight anyway, which allows us to both you know, open up this square and clear off this, and also have once more this safe zone over here. So I think that's the solution. Now they say that if it's silver pawn, we just push. That's because we made our king safe enough because of this square. If gold is the most scary because it retakes the initiative. If he takes, wait, if he takes immediately. Oh, okay. He takes immediately. Yeah, that's true, actually. So, rook drop. King goes to here. Yeah. If we take the knight and then they take the rook, we're in checkmate again. And they're surviving. That's the truth. Yeah. We did clear out 6-5, but we don't have a decisive attack, which is a problem. So if king goes to 7-2, call me crazy, but how about, no, it's not gonna work. No, it's not gonna work. I was thinking of something stupid like this, but let me double check if they don't have solution for it. Yeah, okay, that's a different example. Could be a homework. I am considering moves like that. Bishop takes lance, yes. So I think, because we assume very vaguely, in this situation, our king is not in checkmate because of this rook protection. So the rook can hang there as long as it needs to. So I assume that maybe Toad's idea, bishop takes the lance, promotion, is good. If the king takes the rook, simply speaking, lance drop leads to a mate. Because the bishop is here and it combines with this lance. Now, if silver retakes instead, then maybe then we take the knight. I didn't read pawn takes actually, so I have to read. The idea of that is if then king takes the rook. That's of course assuming that they having the bishop doesn't change this king situation, which is very vague because there is this bishop drop and probably there is a mate. Probably there is a mate. Most likely there is a mate. Yep, homework. I'm gonna prepare it for the next week, okay? We wanna finish the chapter today. I think we're almost at the end, so I'm gonna keep this. We have, yeah, a few pages left. Let's push for it. Let's push for it. Okay, next example. Okay, so the summary of this one was, yeah, clear. Yeah, create the occupation over here by making those checks. Clear of the pieces. Yeah, so check drops plus clearing of defenders / attackers occupation. Occupation, if you think about this, it's like she, it's like you surrounded the enemy king and they can do nothing. Okay, next one. We have this one. Simply speaking, 1-3 Sujaria. So the fight is concentrated over those squares. It's clear, right? So the king's head is the basic. And here what the computer did was to try to put a pressure on this gold by dropping the silver. But what the enemy computer did was to drop the knight here. So in this position, if the silver takes the gold, the knight will retake and create a check, right? So this is that defense while attacking thing that we've talked about, the deflection, yeah, deflect, parry technique in practice. So, and as a result, gold 3-4 is untouchable. Yeah, and because it's untouchable, it's such a powerful ally. So it's very complicated, but knight drop is Tsumero basically. By the computer, by bishop sacrifice. Lance takes. Silver drop, gold takes. Knight drop, lance takes. Knight takes. King runs. Knights to 2. I think this is mistaken. I'm not sure. Or is it Tsumero? Ah, no, knight jump. Okay, the lance attacks again. Once more, the lance here. Yeah, I recommend you guys check this variation later. It would be once more knight jumping, opening this lance line, leading to amazing checkmate. And then we have another example, the same example but later, where we dropped the knight. I mean, things happen. Yeah, the silver was here. Yeah, so things happened. They moved the silver up basically. They defended that previous line that I talked about, creating an escape route as well. And this is where they dropped the silver, trying to create some attack from behind. And this is where the computer created an amazing attack, pawn drop to 3. And this was the decisive move. I'm making out what's the cards mean. Alright, so the point is, I guess it's a very complex way. So we have the deflection, parry, plus creating as escape route. Also notice that silver up is kind of only defending, it seems, but actually it creates the escaping route. So it is multi-purpose. The computer, you know, jumped with the knight to avoid that a pawn, and the king was run away, basically. So what they did is, you know, knight drop targets check. So center disabled that piece. Or targeted that piece, yeah? This pawn was so powerful because once the knight moves, this gold is hanging too. So we attack the critical idea of the enemy. Same way when they have Kobo, you attack the Kobo. Here the knight was clearly the piece that was bothering us. So attacking it was the correct move. Deflecting the deflect tactic into enemy's face, basically. It's a very complicated example. Knight drop, pawn takes, knight takes, king run, silver to the gold, drop, and the king goes to the bottom. We actually threatened checkmate by silver drop, so center one move win. Yeah, computer didn't have enough to win here. So yeah, this is a technique that's useful when your king is in trouble. You can counter it like this. All right, summary of the summary of the summary of the summary. The main battlefield. And this is also the main battlefield. By checking. This says check, check. We go here. We create kobodos, enabling occupation. Win. Yeah, this is easy to understand. Yeah, you add a lot of friends by taking initiative, basically. Now, what's important here is initiative. Yeah, that's what's important. And look, it's like for free because it's a check king runs. For free, you create this mini army. Yeah. Hello, Colfox. So in Endgame, number of kobodo matters. The more you have, the easier to win. Speaking of which, that previous example with the rook drop and bishop to 7-1, we had one kobodo more than the enemy, we won. So how to make more? Kobodos. It's by occupation technique, yeah. Checks leading into iron wall, yeah. Checks leading into army creation, yeah. This technique has 4 tactics hidden in it. So you had create an escape route, shielding, escaping, and surrounding. It's all inside of there. Very, very strong technique. And yeah, the space supremacy. Is the best way to take up space, maybe. Let's translate like this. Okay, so it's important when you make checks, you give a lot of pieces to the enemy. So it's important you don't give them efficient checks when given away the turn. When given away the turn. Because what we want to do is create Hishi, right? It's not Tsume. We just force him around, and eventually we're gonna end up giving away the turn. So it's important that at the end of the whole variation, you have this safe space for your king, and they have no way of checking your king. Then therefore we call about this Zetto, yeah? The typical Zetto or the safe zone that we talked about, yeah? Next. Check. Parry. Reverse check. It's like a mirror, yeah. So as you use the parry is simpler to write. Enemy attack is ineffective. Becomes ineffective, yeah. Occupation. So one more thing that supports our occupation, supporting tactic, is the deflect parry. You cannot forget about this basically when you're going for space. The reflection is like a technique which deflects the enemy attack check against them. So once your Kobodo is taken, okay, if in check or if once your Kobodo is taken, so as we saw, this 2-5 silver was taken by the gold, and then we retook it, which opened up the lens line. We check back. Huge effect. Yeah, this is very, very hard to counter. The parry, once you make it successful, parry gives the turn back, yeah, basically. Which we know, you know, the initiative in Endgame is everything. And one more thing, the parry technique it's confusing. So the parry technique, we kind of deflect everything that the enemy threw at us by escaping it. And even if there is a big fighting difference, power difference, okay, I think what they say, like, even if there is big power difference, it can deflect all. So like specifically speaking, we had this example where this one, they literally had all the pieces on the board, and just this technique like deflected everything, right? Gold drop, silver drop, everything, rook drop, it all got deflected in their face, right? So this is, illustrator deserves his job, yes. This is what they're talking about, yeah? All of it making useless, yeah? The ultimate way of creating something useless. All right, so that's the end of this chapter. If you guys have question about it, it's the last time. Illustrator's job. If there is any way I can get the votes of this book reading, yes. I put it on YouTube too. We have this vote channel. The previous one is not uploaded yet, but all the others are. And we have those playlists of Endgame book reading. You can check it out there. All the other votes are there as well. This is not the main channel, as you can see. We have other channel which has edited videos. This is channel specifically for votes. Yeah, I just upload everything there without editing. I just edit the intro music, I guess. All right, no problem. And next week we have Tsumi no Michisuji. How do you understand this line? Is my problem how to understand it. Path, route, itinerary. The path to put in motion, to put road to. So I guess the path to Tsume. So how to create a path to Tsume. This is gonna be very interesting. This is gonna be definitely the hardest chapter so far. If the one that we just did was difficult, this one is gonna be much harder, I believe. And it is actually the last chapter on the list. And then we have some additional stuff. Let me check quickly if it matters if we do it or not. This is gonna be this chapter. And then we're gonna have summary of everything. And this is about the endgame technique. So I think we still have like at least 2-3 weeks to go. Oh god, yeah, 4 weeks, maybe 1 month more. Next chapter is important, and then the chapter after that is something about how to reverse a fight. So it's gonna be less theory, more practice, I assume, and it's gonna summarize all, and then we will summarize the whole book, kinda, which is gonna be very confusing because it took us weeks to read the book. If we remember everything or not, we're gonna find out. Yes, definitely you should do Tsume practice before next week because it's gonna contain a lot of them. I promise you that. Next week I will be here, and Satomi is gonna be playing on that day as well, so let's root for Satomi because it will be 18th. If you guys forgot, we're gonna have this Discord ping that's gonna have an event going on the whole day. After trivial ones this week, yeah. Well, glad you guys stayed and helped me. We have this one problem that I left, so I have to take a look at it. Somewhere. This one, yeah. I would have to double check it. Stay healthy. Yes, thank you so much. I ran out of tea actually. Thank you so much, Alexandra. My voice is running out, yeah, already. Alright, though. Check something. It's okay. So guys, thank you for coming. I don't see any questions, so I'm gonna just leave it here. Always you can contact me on Discord if you like remember, oh no, what do I do in this position? Just ask me, or comment, you know, the video on the YouTube. I'm gonna upload it like maybe tomorrow. And I will see you on Saturday, where I would like to analyze some pro games that I saw, mainly Nishiyama versus Yauchi, was it, I think? And Sugai versus Fuji. Maybe take a look at that game, and also Satomi's game. Maybe we're gonna briefly talk about this. No, the Satomi's game is next week, so yeah, that's gonna be next week. Yeah, we're gonna take a look at some pro games. And of course, Sunday we're gonna analyze your Kifu, so remember to play some games, yeah? You do have one. Out of curiosity, do we have literature talking about principles? In general, like in chess. Well, that's actually why we started this book reading stream to begin with. Because we don't. we have The Art of Shogi, which talks about opening mainly. Well, Habu's words perhaps like touch some of those topics, but it's a very tiny book. You have Nekomado books at a glance, but those are more like problems to solve, right? Rather than theory. And that's all. And this is why we're doing those streams, Lincoln. This is exactly why, because there's so many good Japanese books, nobody translated, and here we are learning together all those principles, yeah? The opening principles, we actually had one more book that we read of the same author before that. This book is specifically for the Endgame. We read the other book that I completely forgot the name of. No, the 5 Principles of Shogi. And I completely forgot what they were. Oh yes, the Theory of Relativity and all those. Yeah, we read this book like last year. How do you find Go? I used to play it like 10 years ago when I got to 3Q. But I found it hard to like imagine in my brain all those stones. I found chess easier, like chess games like Shogi, to fit my brain more. But if you like Go, we have a chat about this on our server as well. There are some Go fanatics who even went to the European Go Congress. Or was it World Go Congress? I think it was the World one. We even have those people there, so I invite you to Discord. Thank you so much, guys. See you on Saturday. Bye bye.